This is your homework helper, Mrs. Anderson. Today I will help you with Check My Progress. Please have your homework page ready and let's begin. The first part we're going to do is a vocabulary check. So we're going to draw a line to match each vocabulary term with the correct definition. Now I'm not going to give you the answers to these, but what I am going to do is write a division problem here. If I have 637 divided by 81, this number is the divisor, the number that we're working with, that we're dividing into the dividend. So this number is the divisor. This number is the dividend, the big number that we're starting with. And our answer is called the quotient. And if, when you figure out the answer, once you have the quotient, if you have a remainder, the remainder is actually part of the quotient, but this is the remainder here. Okay, and you'll go ahead and do that vocabulary check on your own. All right, this says to estimate and then show how you estimated. We are not estimating. Okay, we're doing the actual problem. So here I have 412 divided by 43. I'm going to ask myself, how many times will 43 go into 4? Oh, it won't. So I'll put a space holder up here. How many times will 43 go into 41? Well, it's bigger than 41, so it won't go into that number either. So I'm going to have to ask myself, how many times will 43 go into 412? Well, what I'm going to do is take the 4 and ask myself, how many times does 4 go into 41? 4 goes into 41 10 times. But 10 has 2 digits, and I only want 1 digit. So what number is a 1-digit number that's close to 10? Well, that would be 9. So I'm going to take the number 43, and I'm going to multiply by 9. 3 times 9 is 12. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 1 more is 37. So I'll write 47 in the ones column right here above the 2, and 43 times 9 is 372. Now I'll subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. I can't do 1 minus 7, so I'm going to need to borrow. I'll do 11 minus 7. 11 minus 7 is 4. So I have 40 left over, and this number, 40, is less than the dividend, so that can be the remainder. So the answer is 40. All right, so that's what you'll do on these other 4 problems. You'll do the same thing. You ask yourself, how many times will the divisor go into the first digit, into the hundreds digit? And usually it won't. Then I'll ask myself, how many times will 81 go into 63? Oh, that time it won't either, because 81's bigger than 63. So I'm going to have to ask myself, how many times will 81 go into 637? Well, I'll ask myself, how many times does 8 go into 63? And that will help me to get started. All right, and then you'll do these other problems as well. On the back, here I have 528 divided by 16. I'm going to need to write that in a division box. 528 divided by 16, and then I'll ask myself, how many times does 16 go into 5? It doesn't. How many times does 16 go into 52? I don't know. So I can look here and ask myself, how many times does 1 go into 5? Or the other thing and that's about 5 times. But I noticed that since I have the 6 here, I'm thinking that's not going to work. Now I can try it anyway though. I can do 16 times 5, and then I can try 16 times 4, okay, and see what I get. So 6 times 5 is 30, and 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 more is 8. Okay, 80 is too big. It has to be less than 52. So I'm going to do 16 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 more is 6. 64 is still too much. So I'm going to do 16 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. Okay, 48 will work because 48 is smaller than 52. So I multiplied by 3. I'll write the 3 above the 2 here. And 3 times 16 is 48. Now we'll go ahead and subtract. I can't do 2 minus 8, so I'm going to need to borrow and put a 4 here. 12 minus 8 is 4. Now I'll bring down the 8. Now I need to know how many times will 16 go into 48. Well, since I already did these 3 problems right here, I can already see what it is. 16 times 3 equals 48. So I can write 3 above the 8, and 16 times 3 is 48. When I subtract, I get 0, and I have my answer as 33. All right, so you'll go ahead and do these other numbers, 11, 12, and 13. Now right here, I don't have much room to write the answer, so I can write it somewhere else if needed, or even erase this. Well, I don't want you to erase this because I want to see your work. So you may just need to write it over here or somewhere else. Okay, you're going to find the variable in the equation, 95 divided by 39. You're finding out what k equals, and k is going to be our quotient, so go ahead and write 975 divided by 39 in a division box. And then you'll do the same things here. A movie theater has 576 seats arranged in 36 equal rows. How many seats are in each row? Well, I'll write it out as 576 divided by 36, and then go ahead through the process. I ask myself, how many times does 36 go into 5? How many times does 36 go into 57? I think it's only going to be 1. Because if I double this, 30 plus 30, it's going to be 60, and that's going to be too much. So I think it'll be 1. Okay, 1 times 36 is 36. 7 minus 6 is 1. 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay, and 21 is less than 36, so I'm on the right track. I'll bring the 6 down now. How many times will 36 go into 216? I'm going to look at the first digit and ask myself, how many times will 3 go into 21? 3 will go into 21 7 times. So over here, I'll do 36 times 7 and see if that'll work. 6 times 7 is 42. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 4 is 25, 252. That's bigger than 217. So I can do 36 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 3 times 6 is 18. Plus 3 more is 21. Okay, so it looks like this is going to work perfectly. So I did 36 times 6, so I'll put the 6 up here. And 36 times 6 is 216. When I subtract, I get 0. Now here's my answer, 16. I need to write this over here. Okay, so how many seats are in each row? There's 16 seats in each row. 16. The Mitchell family is making payments on the refrigerator to the right. So here on the refrigerator, it tells me how much it costs. If they pay $41 every month, how many months will it take to pay for the refrigerator? If I start with 984 and I divide by 41, then my quotient, my answer will be how many months it'll take to pay off the refrigerator. All right, and number 17. Heather bought a package of construction paper that holds 525 pieces with 15 different colors. If there are the same number of pieces per color, how many pieces of each color are there? All right, I'll take the 525 pieces all together, divide by the 15 different colors, and that will tell me how many, my quotient will tell me how many pieces of each color there are. Thanks for watching this Homework Helper video. If you have questions, feel free to ask me at school tomorrow.